Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I am Ian, and today we're taking a look at a very unusual and very ugly automatic pistol here. This is a .30 Luger caliber Knoble automatic. Now this was designed and manufactured by a guy named J.W. Knoble out of Tacoma, Washington, and he actually submitted two versions of this pistol scaled up to 45 ACP to the US 1907 pistol trials, where they competed against others like the Colt Browning, the Luger, the Savage, etc. Now the Knoble is kind of interesting in that it has a toggle mechanism. This one is single action only and has no trigger guard. There are only a handful of these guns in existence. There is a single action .30 caliber with a trigger guard, and then he submitted two to Army testing in 1907. Those were larger, they had trigger guards, and one was single action, one was also double action. Knoble did experiment at least a little bit with straight blowback pistols. There's one of those known to exist, but that pretty much rounds out all of the Knobles. Now this is a toggle action, short recoil gun. It's like a Luger in principle. So when you fire, the bolt is locked back here, and the whole assembly recoils, and you can see that that recoil cams the locking lugs right here out of their locking shoulders in the slide, and then this whole assembly can open up like so. Yeah, if I don't crush my finger in it. Let's do that one more time. So there you have the Knoble at fully locked open. So you can see the toggle is in principle similar to a Luger, but it does operate differently. The main pin back here comes all the way back, much further than a Luger does. These pistols don't have a hold open. In fact, the only controls they have are the trigger, the hammer, and a magazine release here on the front of the frame. Very similar in position to a Savage automatic pistol, actually. All right, the magazine on these is a particular point of not so goodness. You'll see it has a cut open front strap. The magazine sits flush, so what you actually have to do is you push in on the magazine release and then kind of coax the magazine out by pushing on the front of it there, and then we can pull it out here. Now, the .45 caliber pistols submitted to Army testing had their own proprietary magazines. They did actually have little cutouts at the bottom of the grip, and they had two pegs sort of at the bottom of the magazine to help you pull it out. This .30 caliber gun, you know, I haven't put it side by side, but this magazine looks an awful lot like a Browning model of 1907 magazine. Really makes me think that he used one of those magazines and just adapted it to fit by adding this wooden base plate, wooden rear spacer, and in fact, there is even a wooden tab on the follower that adjusts the angle of feed. So obviously this is a magazine that was adapted to fit the pistol, and I suspect it's a Browning 1907. Now, here you can see the open front of the magazine well in the grip. This particular example is missing its firing pin, but it's one of, I think, two of these that exist. So the U.S. military, the Ordnance Board in 1907, got two of these pistols. It appears Knoble was a little embarrassed by the really crude manufacturing and the design, and he did not accompany the guns to the trials. So they were actually disassembled and tested by a Springfield employee, and there's a very short entry on these pistols in the test report, and the most relevant part of it says that a careful examination and several efforts to fire these weapons, remember he submitted two, a single action and a double action, showed that they were so crudely manufactured as to render any test without value, smooth working being impossible. It was therefore decided that these arms would be given no further consideration by the board. So that was the end of Knoble's attempt to get a .45 caliber Army contract. And while this isn't one of the .45 pistols, the .45s really are identical in mechanism, simply scaled up in caliber. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely very cool to get a chance to take a look at one of the Knoble pistols. There are very few of them around. And while they are clearly not up to the task of an Army contract, that certainly makes them interesting to check out. So thanks for watching. Tune back into ForgottenWeapons.com for more semi-automatic trials pistols.